What's going on, ladies and gents? This is going to be a weekly reading covering up 12th to 18th of February 2018. And and without further ado, excuse me, let me shuffle the cards and we go to Aries first. So we're going to through the star signs in their order, as Aries goes first, Pisces goes last, but not least, of course. So that will be a couple of cards just for a star sign, guys. The first card will be what the week is going to be all about, and the second card will represent the challenges that you may place in front of yourself or you have to cope with, either way. Okay, so cutting for Aries, and the topic for Aries is going to be Five of Pentacles here, and the challenges will be the Empress, guys. And these couple of cards for Aries does speaks that they will have some difficulties paying off for a particular things. It is very likely that Aries may have some monetary issues. I'm not saying that you will not be able to face your expenses, but maybe your expenses will be higher than you have anticipated in this particular week, and you have to cut some some expenses which are meant to nurture your personal self and to make you feel more comfortable than usual. So it is kind of like you need to cut some corners when it comes to money. Now, these couple of cards in that particular order, guys, for Aries especially, it does speaks that Aries may feel a little bit threatened that they will not be able to keep up with the standard that they are keeping and maintaining until now, just because of these unexpected expenses coming into their way. But in reality, guys, if you kind of withdraw yourself a little bit from the situation and stop thinking about the material side of the things, or rather give yourself a peace, there is a quite a big chance here with these couple of cards that you will be able to find a very reasonable and rational solution to your issues. Now, if that's not a monetary success, guys, that's not monetary expenses for you, then it does look like that you will feel insecure about something during this week. Maybe your working place, or maybe your relationship, you may feel insecure. What I'm trying to say is that you will have difficulties, and with the Five of Pentacles here, the difficulties come in multiple fronts, guys, and you have to show a mental clarity and mental strength. And the Empress as a challenge is exactly that, detaching yourself from all this, from that midst of activity, so you can make a very balanced judgment, very mature judgment about your situation. And it's all about that acting mature, thinking for the others before thinking for oneself, because actually for you, Aries, your fortune here, especially material fortune, comes through other people. It doesn't come through you in this particular week, guys. Let me hold them like this. I seem that I cannot get it right every time. So it doesn't look like that it comes from your personal efforts or your personal performance, but it comes from other people. So be polite when you interact and when you communicate with others, because as I said, guys, your fortune comes from there. So now I will reshuffle, and we are going to Taurus. Okay, so Tauruses, the card which is marking the topic of this week, guys, is going to be the Seven of Wands here, and the challenges are going to be the Five of Swords. A huge competition is coming in your way, guys, and you have to put everything that you got in order to kind of like win and guard your ground, or it is not even about winning, it is about deflecting an attempt from other people or from other parties to infiltrate your personal space, to infiltrate your work at your career, to infiltrate your relationship. Especially dangerous about relationship, that could be in an attempt from somebody to humiliate you guys in order to make you look bad in front of your potential suitor, or in front of your husband, or in front of your partner in general. So it's the challenge here will be to retaliate with the same tenacity as these people are attacking you. It is because the opposition will be fearsome, guys, and the more soft and milder you are against these people, thinking that with kindness you will be able to overcome them and will show them that there is another way of how this can be settled, you are only going to make your things worse. Now, kindness is a good property of oneself, but right now kindness is not the way you need to act, but you need to act with aggression, or you basically have to smother that kind of a competition uh, on your behalf. Okay, so Five of Swords challenges here, guys. It is exactly that. It is challenging placing your trust into somebody. So it's all about your personal strengths here, and it's all about how much you can achieve and you can give to your unfoldment based on your, as I said, personal strengths, personal knowledge, and personal skills. So if you expect or kind of rely on someone to side with you, then that will be proven quite futile, because it does look like that you will be left alone, and you should not be discouraged by that, guys. It is because with the Seven of Wands, that card urges you to make some heroic actions. That card urges you to push yourself to the limits in order to as I said, deflect a certain opposition either into your career or either into your relationship, and you have to make that ruthlessly here with the Five of Swords. Even if you don't want to do so, Tauruses, you will have to. Otherwise, you will not be the one who is winning the argument. You will not be the one who is winning the battle here. You will not be the one who is gaining from it. And in order to gain from it, guys, you need to leave your pride on the shelf. You need to leave your criterias on the shelf as well, because the people that are standing in front of you here with these couple of cards, they are prepared for war, and in one war there are no rules, guys. And if you play by a certain human rules, for example, don't humiliate, don't be surreptitious, don't be sneaky or slinky, etc., your competition is not going to play by these rules, and that means that they will have an edge here. They will have the upper hand. They will have more tools to fight for the same goal you are fighting for. Now the problem here is that, as I said, they are a competition. They are not as supporters. So you need to arm yourself, Tauruses, in this week and face them with everything you got, guys, because it will be quite fearsome. Okay, so next we are going to Gemini. Now let me shuffle, guys. Geminis, the card which is marking the week, that is going to be the Ten of Cups, and the challenges are going to be the Two of Wands, guys. So it will be a very positive week for you, Geminis. First things first, you will be very satisfied and feeling fulfilled about the results of your labor. And not only that, but you are going to find yourself in a very smooth place, either into your relationship or either into your career. In other words, you will be very happy of where you're finding yourself at and what it is on your plate. On top of that, guys, it doesn't look like that you will have very major issues during this week, as every kind of problems that you may think are going to swirl you, they will actually bypass you and leave you unnoticed. Now, it is also very likely that for most of you Geminis, there will be an event which is going to happen, that is going to transcend your daily reality, and as well is going to make your life all of a sudden start worth living it. Now, the only challenge here, guys, with the Two of Wands is that you will not be willing to ask for more. Now, that's the whole thing here. That's the whole picture, is because you have more horizons and more fields to conquer in front of you, and you will not want to, because you are feeling fulfilled at the place you are right now. So what it is require at this particular place is to play at that particular time is to place more challenges in front of yourself, so you can find out that you can actually attract even more fortune to your behalf. Geminis, as I said, very positive week, guys. A week of love, a week of very positive emotions toward one another. If you are in relationship, etc., your career looks very well, guys. As a matter of fact, you will start thinking of swapping either jobs or striving yourself toward a promotion, because you are going to start realizing that you have achieved everything you could achieve at that particular place you are right now. But what I can advise you with these couple of cards is not to be too much aggressive, because being too much aggressive, it may put you in a very bad light in front of the eyes of others, and also it can deprive you from a certain benefits that can come in your way. Just calmly, guys, reconnoiter your surrounding and decide what is going to be your next your next goal. What exactly goal you want to achieve afterwards, after you are kind of like enjoy that moment of satisfaction during this particular week. But very positive week for Gemini. Now I'm going to shuffle and we go to Cancer. Okay, Cancers, for you we have the Seven of Pentacles as a topic of the week, and challenges will be the Six of Pentacles, guys. So I cannot say that you will be worried during this week, but you will find that you have insufficiency into your resources. And the difficulty for you this week, or the challenge, will be finding out a refunding or finding out who can really invest into your things with their time, with their efforts. It is basically finding out a help or receiving help. Not that the help is not going to come, maybe you're way too proud to receive that particular help, guys. Now, what is important here to know is that you should not also rely way too much on that help which is presented to you, because it's not going to solve your problem. What I like to say with the Six of Pentacles, if you are familiar with the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, the rich person gives change to the beggar, and that's help in reality. That's a form of help, but in reality the rich person doesn't help to the beggar, because the beggar will remain beggar afterwards. So in other words, it postpone your difficulties, and this is exactly what you need to use the help that is going to come in your way during this particular week, to postpone your difficulties for the future, so you can catch up your breath at the first, then you can wait faithfully for a event which is about to happen here with the Seven of Pentacles. It is about an event, very faithful event, guys, which is going to shed more light upon your situation, and as well is going to give you with more options available. It is just behind the corner. You need to just have a little bit more endurance in order to wait for it, and as well is going to allow you that particular stall of time with your difficulties is going to allow you to reprioritize your resources so you can spread them more accurately among the tasks that you need to fulfill and accomplish. So it will be kind of like a week for you cancers of discussion. It will be a week of deliberations about what exactly how exactly you could be most productive moving on forward into the future with minimum wastes of your resources, your skills, your knowledge, and your time as well. It will be a productive week for those which are patient and which are not aggravated by the lack of options available at first sight. What I'm trying to say is that the options available will come with time here with the Seven of Pentacles, guys. And while that time has come, you could use the help that it is given to you, because the help will come with the Six of Pentacles. It is what we have here. Also, the Six of Pentacles is a challenging card. In that particular case, shows that some of you may be ignorant for recognizing that happiness could come in many different guises, guys. Okay. Or as well being unhappy of a gift which is given to you, so you have expected something different or more than it is given to you as a gift, but you need to know that whatever it is given with a pure heart, and it should mean a lot to you, even more than its value itself. Now let me shuffle and we go to Leo. Okay, so Leos, your card for the week, it's Knight of Pentacles, and the challenging card is the Four of Wands. A huge potential, guys, of meeting somebody which is very interested in you, romantically interested. It is very likely as well that this could be a friend of yours, and this is exactly what is going to be challenging, making the first step toward a certain commitment. It is because he or she is a friend of yours. Now, what it is important to be taken under consideration here is that this person knows exactly what they want. So in other words, they have deliberated upon should they make a move forward with you or should they not, and they are quite determined to push the things through with you. In case if this is the case with your week and you seriously need to give them a chance, it is because you have walked a long path with these people or with that person, and you can walk among them or with them along for a very, very huge period of time moving on forward into the future. The other interpretation of this card, in case this isn't the person here, is that you will need very decisive and yet compassionate actions toward a certain tasks in your daily routine, guys, and as well that you will have that opportunity to spend some time among nature and to spend some time on vacation, in case you do have the necessary means to take it. The issue here will be, however, vacation. If this is about a vacation, is that you will have a lot of work to do, and that work is the final line of a completion of a certain project, and it will require your attention. So you have to juggle in between both things, resting in a vacation and working for completing that project. It doesn't have to be a working project, I mean career project. It could be a personal project, relationship project, etc., etc. But it does look like that the only challenge that you will have here during this particular week, which will really bother you guys, is that you will not have much time for yourself. You will not have much time meeting with your friends, talking with them, hanging out with people that you really like hanging out. It is going to be completely this week is going to be completely focusing on finalizing a circle of yours. because you have placed quite of a huge work. I mean, I am meticulous and huge work upon it, and it will be a shame if you leave it unattended right now. That particular card here, the four of wands in this particular position, may speak as well that it will be a challenging starting on a new project which was carefully prepared in the past. You have placed their careful preparations for it, and suddenly something else it is popping up that needs to be attended to, and you there need to put a very decisive and yet compassionate actions toward it. Now let me shuffle again, guys, and we are going to Virgo. Okay, so Virgo, the topic of your week is going to be Justice card. And then we do have challenges here with the 10 of Pentacles. So lucky you, we have a couple of cards which are, how can I place it in words, guys? Well, in that particular combination, they are quite milder cards. So it's going to be rather quite quiet week for you, where you have to start reprioritizing your things, or kind of like settling in resources which you truly possess. With the 10 of Pentacles, as we can see, and you have to 1 second, guys, this is ridiculous. So let's start from the beginning. I'll try to explain it a little bit differently here, Virgos. So just this card, it does points that your actions at that particular week is going to they are going to be rewarded accordingly to the actions themselves, which means that either good or bad, these actions will reap the fruits of their labor. And in that particular case, guys, you need to start reprioritizing your resources, defining which project of yours requires less resources and it is not that important than the other project. And here we do have a certain strings you're going to place in front of yourself. So that's going to be the challenge here, maintaining your personal freedom, or kind of maintaining your it's not detachment, I'm trying to find the correct word. Yeah, it's about personal freedom, deliberation, okay? Not deliberation, liberation from the situations itself, because otherwise you may find yourself in a string of activity where you may not have time for oneself. But and also these cards are showing that you will be slumbered under activities of yours, leaving you no time that you can spend with your family, with your friends as well, and with your relatives. But and in the same time, the personal independence was what I was searching for as word, guys. So your personal independence may be threatened in a sense where you will be so borrowed under work here, while you reprioritize your things, your resources, you know, your efforts, what you're going to do first. It does look like a to-go list that you're going to create. And when you do it this week, you're going to find out that you have no spare time for yourself. and that will be the only issue here that you're gonna face. Issue as a challenge to free some a little bit time for yourself, so you can recuperate if you want to, so you can recharge, regain back your strengths, etc., etc. Now, Ten of Pentacles as a challenge as well is to believe into somebody. If we look at that way, this is another version of interpreting these cards. Somebody lied to you, they come for help, for example, or they want to reconciliate with you, and this week you're gonna test them, you know, so they so to see, are they worthy to gain back your trust again, and are they worthy to be with you moving on further into the future. But I do believe it's more about the first interpretation of the cards, where you have to rearrange your to-go list, and where you have to put the most important tasks at front, and the exterior or kind of like the peripheral tasks should stay on the back seat until you actually finalize whatever it is substantial for your future development the most. Now I'm gonna shuffle again, and we go to Libra. Okay guys, Libras, we have for you the Sun card, and challenges will be the Six of Wands. Very peculiar, Libras. Now, first things first, the topic of your week looks fantastic, guys. It does seem that your situations, whatever situations you are involved in, and they are stalling, it does look like that they will be set in stir again. So you can expect unfoldment into your things. You can expect the things to start moving again, and to have a certain, yeah, it is unfoldment, but as well as progression. Also, the Sun card is associated with monetary success, guys, as well as with vigor and with enthusiasm to jump into activities and to finalize activities. But the Sun card, it is also associated with spreading happiness around the world. So it does look like that you will be an example of how happy one can be, and as well you will encourage people around you, and as well you will be their pinnacle, if I may express myself that way, to encourage them to push on forward. So you will be a very valuable shoulder that someone can lean on during this week. Now, the challenge here, however, for you guys will be to receive recognition for it. So it has to be purely from generosity. You shouldn't seek a return of your favors. You shouldn't seek a return of your kindness as well. And if it comes to a relationship, I have to say to these cards, you need to be prepared for some compromises here in order to overcome obstacles, issues, arguments, difficulties, scandals, etc., etc. But in general, it will be a very positive week. Career-wise, these cards are showing, guys, that you will do exceptional work. However, nobody is going to see it, but you will be the one who see it. I mean, nobody from those who actually are assessing you, but your co-workers are going to see how hard you work. But again, a monetary success, as I said, guys, and as well, I have situations which are going to start unfolding naturally. But on top of all that, you will find yourself very, very happy during this week. It's just, don't discourage yourself if people are ignorant or they don't have time to see how hard you work. They will see it, okay? This is just a challenging card. It doesn't say that it is a negative card. It is challenging, so you need to you need to point toward your efforts, harder than usual. Okay, you need to try to place yourself in the middle of things, in the middle of the universe, if you want to say it that way, harder than usual, so people can spot you. It is probably because people will have other things to take care of, and kind of like recognition of your efforts will be a secondary thing to them. However, guys, also one more thing I want to say about these cards is that you may, if you are relying on a particular help, or you're hoping that particular help will come on your way, it's not going to be that week. You will be the one who has to help actually this week, Libras, not somebody to you. Shuffling again, guys, and we are going to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpios. The Queen of Cups for you is the first card, and then challenges is going to be the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, it does look like that somebody is going to ask you for money, guys. Okay, or you may have challenges. Well, that could go in a couple of ways. Someone could ask you for money because they do struggle, and you may have a hard time lending them those money. Or these cards may show that you will be the one who asks for money, and that person, even though they have the purest intentions to give you the money you require, they will not have the ability to do so. Either way, guys, it does look like that you can find those money. It will just not be from the person you initially thought that you can find them. But these cards speaks from another perspective. These cards speaks, guys, that you can rely on a particular person in your life for a support, emotional support. What I'm talking about is here is not material support, but emotional support, in a term of where if you are feeling overburdened emotionally, if you are feeling down in the dumps, you can go out and share. That particular person here as a Queen of Cups, she or he truly understands your pain. They have been there, they have survived, and they have quite a sound advices to give you how you can easily or with more ease to cope with your difficulties and with your pain. The problem, excuse me, the problem here will be that the more you interact with that person, the more strings and attachments you will start creating with them, to a point where if you are spending every day with them, kind of like the entire day with them, you will find out that you actually cannot go on without them. It is because they have become a very vital part of your daily routine. So it is advisable to maintain a certain distance as well, you know, everything to be with exact portions as the interactions here, because other way they may infiltrate your personal space. Now this card is also showing, guys, that you may become misunderstood from your family. These couple of cards, misunderstood from your family, and as well that you will kind of like receive a secret, or you will be told a secret that it's going to make you doubt in a person you have placed a great hopes at in before. I mean. So now let me shuffle again, and the next one is going to be Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is, we have the Nine of Swords for you is the first card, and then we have the Hierophant card as the second. and you will be quite rebellious for what it seems this week. So guys, the Nine of Swords here, it does expresses your aggravation and yeah, and your agitation about the things you must do during the week, the performance you need to execute during this week. It is because it is required from you, most likely into your career, you know, but also it could come into your relationship, and it is something that you truly dislike or you are not agreed to do so. However, it is required, guys, in order to stabilize and sustain your positions, either into your career and either into your relationship. You need to know that if you are trying to convince people around your point of view, it's not going to work out. It is because it is way too late, guys. They have their opinion, they're your bosses, they're in charge, and you need to follow their creed. That is going to be the challenge here, following the creed of somebody else, and that is going to place you in a spot where you will feel that people are bruising upon you, especially your boss at work. You may start feeling that your boss at work is bruising upon you, breathing on your neck, asking you to do things right now in this very moment, which things which you're not very agreed of. It's kind of like it's going to be an aggravating week, it's going to be an agitating week, but in the same time, it's not going to be something drastically deteriorating for your you know, for your development. Actually, it is the only thing you need to do here is squeeze your teeth and don't talk not straight, but aggressive to people, and everything will go very smoothly, guys. Maybe you're not understanding why these things needs to be done. I mean, why you need to do things in a certain way that you have been told to, but that is because people will not give too much effort in order to explain very accurately to you why exactly these things needs to be done, and that will create quite of a fear within you. I know it is not only fear, but it will also make you think that you will not that you are not capable of maintaining certain responsibilities or attending to certain responsibilities, which is quite untrue. Actually, your fears will be quite futile, guys, and there is a bit of a danger here with the Nine of Swords, that you are saying that you will fear for things which are not worthy for your fear, while true issues that are emerging right now are left unnoticed. So you have to be a little bit more sober about your situations and more analytic about them, realizing that you know, if you have someone on charge, your failure is their failure, okay? It is not your failure, and start glancing upon things which entirely depend on you, because if there will be an issue during this week, guys, it will be exactly in those things which depends only on your performance, only on your knowledge, only on your decisions. The next one is going to be Capricorn. Okay, so for Capricorns, we have the Queen of Swords as a topic of the week, and then we do have the Nine of Pentacles. So someone will be on charge for you, guys, and will not allow you to express yourself either creatively, or it's not going to allow you to, well, how it's called in English, to collect the applause. Well, that's not exactly what I'm trying to say here. It is a little bit difficult to explain those couple of cards in that particular reading, guys, but let's say that you will have to tackle with a person who is very repartee, and as well it is very capable to push things through, but you are going to be their instrument of pushing things through, while at the end they will take all the credit while you have been the one who pushed the things through. It is kind of like well, it's kind of unfair situation, but in the same time, you can use their knowledge or you can use the inertia these people give to you in order to start working on your own personal things, Capricorns. You don't have to obey to those people. But if that's not a person, guys, that you need to tackle with here in this week, then it does look like that you will start learning something. And the problem here will be that it will go entirely against what you already know to be true. And you will be amazed realizing that whatever you're starting to learn here, it is exactly what will enable you to push your things through, and as well is going to start healing your situation. And the Queen of Swords is also about healing energy. So if you do have some health issues, then you may expect to start feeling better during this week, looking at these couple of cards. And the only issue that we can see here as a challenge, guys, is to face challenges a little bit more lightly and a little bit more light-hearted and spontaneous, not to be that serious, being open to experiment. While if you are expecting to reach a certain success during this week, success is not gonna come, guys, during this week, but it will come during probably the next week or the week after. It is just this week is more like learning what you need to do rather than doing it, so you can actually place or create a very accurate plan, step by step, how you can achieve whatever you're after. Okay, these couple of cards as well are pointing that you have to be mature, especially when it comes to interactions and communications with people. You should cut the crap and you should not make jokes, mocking, etc., etc., but you need to be poker faced, very mature about the situations, and talking only upon the subject and nothing else. I mean, jokes, it is something that will make you look like a person who cannot be trusted, so be mindful of that. And let me shuffle again, and we go to Aquarius as next one. Okay, so for Aquarius, the first card is going to be the Nine of Pentacles, and then we do have the Devil. Oh, you Aquariuses are going to have so much things that you will want to acquire during this week that you will have a hard time focusing on one thing at the time, and you will possess that kind of energy, guys, that kind of power which is granting you success in everything you tackle with. The problem will be controlling that power and also forcing a certain fateful events using that power at your behalf. So the only problem here, guys, will be your personal needs that can ruin the benefits you can achieve through your work, either into your career or either into your relationship. And under personal needs, I mean yearnings, I mean desires. So you need to define which desire of yours, which earning of yours, and which passion of yours is essential for your future development, and which one it is just something that it's irrelevant. I don't know what the exact English word for that, but I will check it out. But yeah, you need to scale where your desires and where your hunger lies. You may have a hunger for love, you may have a hunger for money, you may have hunger for attention, you may have hunger for success, you may have hunger for being busy, etc., etc., and you will have the power to create all that. Which, however, of these things are going to contribute for your future development, it is something you need to define for yourself. Whatever you define or whatever you go after during this week, guys, you will be able to succeed in it. I hope you will make the right choice here, because the challenge is also going to be about you defining the right choice. What I'm trying to say is that you may have fear that you have made the wrong choice, and that fear either going to be true or false. It does depend, again, how accurate you are with scaling what is exactly substantial for your future development. Either way, guys, this week is going to be very joyful. This week is going to be very interactive, as you interact with other people, as you interact with situations, which are going to allow you to see how much potential you personally have, as well as you will be able to clinch upon your previous experience, showing to the people how capable you are in reality to push business forward, to push relationship forward, to push work forward, to make money, etc., etc. But the only problem here will be your personal yearning for more. That because it doesn't matter how much you will have and how much you will be able to succeed, Aquarius, during this week, you will always yearn for more. And this is something that can seriously diminish the profits you can gain from that week, guys. So you need to, as I said, define, analyze, and scale which yearning of yours it is something that can truly contribute for your future development. And last but not least, as I said, we're going to Pisces. So Pisces, you will have the Death card as the weak card, and then we have for you the King of Swords as challenge. So there is nothing to do with the person here for what it seems, guys. You will have to change something into your environment, or rather adapt into something into your environment, either adapting into a new project or into a new person that is coming into your way. Either way, the Death is a very broad card. It could relate to every single thing, from noxious habit to changing homes, to changing home, changing country, changing partners in relationship, changing jobs, etc., etc. But the challenge here will be that card, guys. This is then as the King of Swords, that card speaks for sober judgment. It does speaks for authority that you need to maintain during that particular change. So you have to be very decisive with your actions, in with your decisions. Hesitation, it is something you should not show in front of other people, because they will see that as a weakness, and you don't want to show your weaknesses during that particular during that particular week. And looking at these cards, I can tell that you will have to, guys, as well. How can I place it here? You will have to work upon your body. As I'm looking at these cards, probably there is some workouts, if you're doing workouts, that you need to change, or you need to be more consistent with following out, working out your body, as the body is a temple of our soul. And the King of Swords usually comes when you have to nurture and when you have to work out with your body. So that could be a challenge. For example, if you go to fitness, you know, if you do some workouts to maintain the routine in those workouts, or you have to change something with your diet, so you can make it more easier to you, or you may decide that the time has come that you need to start working out, but that will be a challenge. Of course, starting working out is always a challenge. However, guys, whatever it is the change for you, again, do not hesitate. As soon as it comes, you need to walk down upon that road, and it will be involving to let go of something. That is always about letting go of something so you can start catching up with something else. And as soon as that particular hint of what you need to let go of comes, you have to be very decisive about letting it go and definitive with your actions toward it. So as I said, because you need to maintain authority in front of people, you need to maintain respect in front of people, you need to show as an example that life is simply changing. It is not taken away with the appearance of the death card. But one is certain, guys, one thing's go off during this week for you Pisces, other it is starting. So be ready to be ready to receive the new life that is coming in your way. So that was the tarot reading, guys, for 12th to 18th of February 2018, and I hope you liked it and you enjoyed it. And if you do, guys, like and share the video so it can help to more people. And if you want a personal reading with me, you can purchase one from tarotpredictions.net, which is my website, or if you want on-demand services, you can follow me at Instant Go iOS application. My account there is Tarot Predictions, both links written down there in the description of the video. And with that being said, I'm signing out now. As always, be positive, guys, be informed, and see you next time. Bye.